All right. Well, it's 11:01 now. I think that's about the good time to get started here. I am recording. So again, if you want to run through this again, I'm recording this webinar, so we'll post it on our blog in the next couple of days, and we will send you the presentation slides as well later on today. So it's good to see everyone. Hopefully you can see the screen okay. This is our very first webinar where we're going to be looking to tackle inbound marketing. So the topic today is Inbound Marketing 101, and it's laying the foundation for success. This being our very first webinar, we want this to be very much an overview, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But one of our biggest marketing goals and strategies we're going to use moving into 2015 is these webinars. So we want to do one a month, and while this one is going to be very overview, very high level, we'll use 2015 and get a little bit more specific and tackle these certain topics that we think you guys find interesting and you should know about, being business owners or marketing people, as we look at inbound marketing in 2015. So I'm Wes Hammond. That's my photo there on the screen. Hopefully everyone sees it okay. I work for a company called Brown Creative Group. I think most of you are familiar with us, but we are an inbound marketing agency in Winston-Salem. And we focus on two things really, web design and inbound marketing. And we'll jump into inbound marketing a bit in today's webinar. And Neil, if you could just in the chat pane over there, just let me know that you can see this next slide, so I'm sure that everything's working fine. But I'm sure it is, so I'll just keep going. So a couple of housekeeping notes to start, guys. Again, this webinar is meant to be a high-level overview of inbound marketing. We'll dig a bit deeper in the future webinar, where we'll focus solely on one inbound marketing tactic at a time. And topics for these webinars will include blogging, social media, search engine optimization, those type of topics that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. We'll dig more into those in these future webinars. Today, high-level inbound marketing, we want to get everyone on the same page. Secondly, if you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and enter those into the GoToWebinar chat pane at any time. We'll have someone monitoring those so we can answer them real time. I'm going to keep an eye on them as well. So if you've got any questions, just type them in that chat pane, and it can be very interactive here. So don't feel the need to wait to the very end or raise your hand for questions. Just type them in that chat pane. Also, I'll hang out at the very end. We can do a Q&A at the very end for anyone, whether it's pertaining to this webinar or just kind of in general, just kind of more just around marketing, web design, anything like that. So I'll hang it out at the end and we can do some questions then as well. Also, I mentioned this earlier, but I will be sending out these presentation slides to all who signed up for the webinar. You can expect them soon after we finish up today. Plus, we're recording this presentation and we'll post it to our blog in the coming days. And lastly, this is our very first ever live webinar, so bear with us if it's not quite right. But again, let me know in the chat pane if anything's going on with audio, with video, and we'll see if we can get it right. But I think from there, we'll jump right in and get started. All right, so first of all, is inbound marketing even right for you and your business? This quote from Guy Kawasaki pretty much sums up who inbound marketing is for. It's one of my favorite quotes. It says, if you have more money than brains, you should focus on outbound marketing. If you have more brains than money, you should focus on inbound marketing. So if you have more money than brains, congratulations. I'm sure that's not really that bad of a problem to have. Um, but inbound marketing is for those that can't simply outspend their competitors in marketing to grow their business. So I know I'm certainly hope I have more brains than money. If I didn't, it means I don't have very much brains at all. But I bet most of us here would align in that second category, more brains than money. So if that's you, then we think inbound marketing is for you. I think from here we'll kind of go into the inbound marketing story. Inbound marketing and storytelling kind of go hand in hand. So I think it's kind of appropriate to tell it as a story. So in the old days, before the internet, and even into the 2000 and post-internet, marketing consisted of seeking out and pushing products and services onto customers. These traditional advertising methods consisted of print ads, TV and radio ads, yellow pages, cold calls, those type things. And as this crazy thing called the internet caught on and became easily available anytime, pretty much anywhere, especially these days with mobile, these outbound marketing methods, they simply just became less effective. Things like DVR and TiVo allow us to fast forward through commercials. Subscription radio services like Pandora, satellite radio, they allow us to bypass these ads. The do not call list limits cold calling and the effectiveness that might have used to have. And search engines have pretty much taken the place of yellow pages. So more and more, we as consumers, we're just ignoring these interruptive marketing methods. So to save the day, some marketers decide to utilize the internet and how consumers search for information about companies. So as inbound marketers, instead of pushing our marketing onto unsuspecting people, we make ourselves present and easily available online so that these prospects are pulled in as opposed to us pushing onto them. They're pulled in whenever they go searching for whether it's a provider or they're just looking for some helpful information. We become, as inbound marketers, our businesses become present and available. And they get pulled into us. And inbound marketing allowed consumers to connect with businesses on their own time and via the channels they chose. And it's kind of a win-win because consumers love it because everything happens at their pace, on their schedule, and they receive help right when they go searching for it. And then businesses love it because it means they now have qualified prospects seeking their help and connecting with them once they go to the internet searching for a solution to whatever they have going on. So what is inbound marketing? I'll let you real quick just read over that. It's kind of a long one, and I hate to just throw up long definitions, but this one really works. It's from HubSpot. We're HubSpot partner agency. They're an inbound marketing software and pretty much at the forefront of this entire inbound marketing movement. So let me take a sip of water. You guys read through that, and I'll join back in a second. Okay, so inbound marketing is, well, I should say it focuses on creating quality content that, again, pulls people towards your company rather than pushing your company towards them. So it pulls them where they naturally want to be. And by aligning the content your company publishes with your customers' interests, you naturally attract inbound traffic that you can then convert, close, and delight. And we'll touch on the methodology here in a second, but those last four words that are bold right there, attract, convert, close, and delight, That's very much the inbound methodology. It can pretty much be summed up in those 4 words. But for a more simpler definition, it's marketing with a magnet, right? We're attracting people to us. It's not a megaphone. It's not a sledgehammer. We're not beating down the doors to get in to interrupt people. And we're not standing on the top of a building with our megaphone telling everyone how great we are. That's not what naturally brings people into us. So there's a definition. Here's another one for you that I had to create earlier this year. I wanted a definition of inbound marketing under 140 characters, so that it was tweet worthy. And that was tough. It was tough to get all of that definition down to this, but this is what I came up with. Inbound marketing is the philosophy that creating and optimizing helpful content earns the attention, trust, and eventually business of potential customers. And here's my first shameless plug. That's again, that's from our Twitter, Brown Ad Design. Give us a follow. We may just follow you back. And again, that methodology. This is inbound marketing is summed up in this right here. Okay, so we mentioned the attract, convert, close, delight earlier. And so that's what the company is doing. That's what inbound marketers are doing: attract, convert, close, and delight. If you think about the prospects and potential customers, that life cycle, I should say, goes like this: strangers. So we're attracting these strangers who are out there on the web searching for information. And we'll get into how to attract them here in a bit. But we're attracting those folks out there on the web so that they become a visitor. And then we want to convert those visitors that reach our website, that reach our content, into leads. And then we want to close those leads into customers. And then we want to delight those customers into promoters and brand advocates. That's a powerful thing. And so everything with inbound marketing comes back to this methodology right here. Okay, so why inbound marketing? I get that. I think some people think that inbound marketing was started by this marketing wizard and just completely transformed the marketing world in the past 10 to 15 years. That's really not the case. It was just kind of a natural thing, and it didn't take a genius to realize that the effectiveness of the more outbound, the traditional advertising, as consumer behavior changed, that effectiveness really, really decreased. And so folks started looking for alternative ways to reach their potential customers. And it just so happened that with people spending more time on the web and searching for more information on the web, inbound marketing just kind of took off from that. So why inbound marketing? It's probably easily said just by looking at the decrease in effectiveness of outbound marketing. And that outbound, that traditional advertising is what I was referring to earlier: direct mail, broadcast ads, cold calling, the yellow pages, and even some things like banner ads on websites, things that you might not think as much as outbound, or traditional, I should say, is very much outbound marketing. But a couple of stats that really make the case for inbound over outbound: 45% of direct mail never gets opened, 85% of people fast forward through commercials now, and 84% of 25 to 35-year-olds are likely to click off a website with excessive advertising. And probably the best stat of all, and this is the one we always revert back to, just goes back to the increased effectiveness of inbound over outbound, is that companies that focus on inbound marketing tactics have a 62% lower cost per lead than those focusing on outbound marketing tactics. And there's good research to back that up. It's a pretty important stat we use. All right, so the fundamentals of inbound marketing come down to 4 things, really. And we'll go into these a little bit more in the coming slides. But again, this right here, this is the X's and O's of inbound marketing. And again, as we look forward to 2015, I mentioned the webinars we're going to be doing. They're going to be on these specific items. So if we look at, we're going to have a webinar on buyer personas and what that means to your business and how to go about creating these buyer personas and why it's important. And then we'll look at how to attract visitors. And even within that, blogging is a way to attract visitors. That's worth its own webinar. Social media is a way to attract visitors. Search engine optimization, same thing. All those deserve their own, half an hour webinar, just so we can get really into the specifics of those. So again, we'll kind of highlight the as an overview today, and then if you want to know more about these specifically, write me a question or keep in touch with us, and we'll let you know about these upcoming webinars. So these fundamentals of inbound marketing: creating buyer personas, attracting visitors to your site. So you got to get found. Then you got to convert those visitors into leads once they get to your site. And then at the very end, you want to analyze everything you're doing. And that's kind of one of the benefits of inbound marketing. And I'll touch on that in a bit, but everything is measurable. All right, so first up, creating buyer personas. To define buyer personas first, we're going to call it a semi-fictional representation of your ideal customer. And this is based on market research and real data about your existing customers. So some of this market research, some of this existing data you have is going to be around demographics, behavior patterns, what motivates this person, and what are some of the goals that these folks have. And I'm moving ahead a little bit, but the idea is you want to understand these buyer personas are who are most likely to purchase from you. These are your ideal customers. So obviously, with whatever marketing you're doing, you want to appeal to these folks, these buyer personas. And so before we can do that, we've got to really understand who they are so that we can speak in their language, we can speak to their goals, we can align with them so that when they go searching for information online, they'll find our information from aligning with them. And absolutely, the more detailed, the better. We want to know these folks inside and out. Again, what drives them to search for the things they do? What are their struggles? Where do they need help? And earlier I mentioned semi-fictional. I'll give you some idea of our buyer personas. We say semi-fictional because we use real names, but they're not actual names of any of our customers. For instance, we have owner Ali. Okay, owner Ali is a business owner who needs help with marketing. Probably a good majority of our buyer personas are owner Alis. But we also have marketing Mary, and that's someone within marketing that does marketing for a company who needs a better way to market that company. What they've been doing just doesn't work, and so the marketing person has been put in charge of finding a new solution. And in our case, that would be inbound marketing and web design. We also have Sales Sam. So Sales Sam is the salesperson who just doesn't have enough leads, who needs some leads to come in from inbound marketing. So that kind of gives you an idea of what semi-fictional means. And I would encourage all you to at least get started thinking about those buyer personas of your company. So next, and probably the most important, once you have your buyer personas, is how to attract these folks to your website. We spend probably the majority of our time here, all right, how to build awareness about your company so that when people go searching for a provider or a solution or maybe just information about something within your industry, you get found. So with everything we're doing with attracting visitors, they're all coming to your website, right? So it's got to be the hub of all your marketing. Even if you're doing some outbound stuff, we would definitely encourage you to utilize your website so that it's an asset for your company. And it's absolutely the hub of everything you're doing from a marketing standpoint. Within your website, mobile is super, super important, and it just grew in importance over the last month. And I won't go into it too much, but Google has just recently announced that more than any time before, mobile optimization and overall just mobile friendliness of your website is super, super important, because they will now be, whenever someone searches for something on Google, they will now have a little designation for those sites that come up in the search results if they are mobile friendly. So obviously, if you're going to be searching from a mobile device, I'm going to want to click on a search result that says it is mobile friendly. So if it's not, that's going to hurt your search results. It's going to hurt your attraction and getting folks to your website. So with the website at the core kind of everything we're doing, blogging and content creation is actually probably the best way to attract new website visitors into your company. And blogging is probably the most misunderstood tactic within inbound marketing that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. This blogging, I'm not talking really about keeping your existing customers up to date with what's going on in your business. I'm talking about creating content that, again, is going to really align with your buyer personas and your prospective customers. That's going to help them. Overall, it's got to be helpful. It's got to provide value to them, so that when they go searching online, let's say you're in insurance, if they go searching online for, they start their buying process just searching for information about insurance. They're not quite ready to meet with someone, right? They just want to do their research. They want to get knowledge about it. So if you're putting out this content that's going to help them achieve that goal of gaining some knowledge, it's going to build trust for your company, for your business. And when they get to the point of needing to contact someone, why would they go anywhere else whenever you've been there to help them along, get to the point they are now? So blogging has a ton of benefits, and I'll just kind of focus on attracting visitors and how it can attract new website visitors to your website today. But again, we'll have a completely separate webinar on blogging and the best practices with that down the road. Along with that, search engine optimization, SEO, as most folks call it, that's all about optimizing your site so that when people go searching for solutions or providers to a certain need that they have, that you show up. That's especially important with local type searches. So in our case, people would likely search web design, Winston-Salem, inbound marketing, Winston-Salem. Those are the type of keywords that we're going to want to optimize our website for, so that we're found. And again, there's like 200 things that goes into how a website is ranked in Google. So again, that the search engine optimization alone deserves its own separate webinar to really dig into that. But it's very much important in attracting visitors to your site. And then also social media. So social media is a great way to, for one, promote out that blog content that you're putting out, so that it reaches your followers. And it's another way to just get found. Whenever someone goes searching for information, and even kind of separate from attracting visitors, social media is great for something called social proof. And social proof is just that good feeling that you get whenever let's say you're on Amazon and you're looking at a product, and I bet most of us are going to want to read the reviews. Social proof is that good feeling you get when you see several good reviews for the same product you're looking at. Social media can help that. Most businesses have a review section on their social media accounts, and it's always good to see a company have a presence in social media before you're going to do business with them. Okay, so we've done some things to get folks to our site, get these people who are searching for a provider, a solution, information about the industry we deal with. We brought those people into the site. Uh, Now we want to convert them to a lead, right? Because too often people just think that a visitor will reach your site, see your page, give you a call, and it's everything is happy. Um, we as inbound marketers want to focus on the life cycle of the buying process for these folks, and it's usually a long one in a lot of cases. So you've got to position your marketing around that, and so that's where this comes into play: converting leads. So again, you've gotten people to your blog, excuse me, you've gotten people to your website. Now you want to entice them even further with your good blog content, your social media, your website content. And so that's where premium content offers come into play. And these are helpful ebooks, white papers, even webinars. What I'm doing now is a premium content offer that's available for a free download. We'll give it to you for free. All we ask is for the exchange of some of your contact information. Obviously, the more valuable the content, the more information you can get away with asking. But the purpose of this is that you want to know who your visitors are, right? You don't want just random people to be coming to your website. You want to know who they are and kind of what they're dealing with. And so if you offer them these premium content offers and they download it, you know a little bit more about them, right? You know, you're likely going to know their name of their business, and probably an email so that you can follow up with them from that. But you also know what they're looking for help with based on what they choose to download. For instance, this is an inbound marketing 101 webinar. So I can take from this that the people listening into this, they simply just want to know a little bit more about inbound marketing. And so that's good for us to know, and we may follow up with you guys in some emails from this. So you've got these premium content offers that's going to convert your visitors to leads. And your calls to action, which is this next bullet point here, is how you draw attention to these offers in the first place. So calls to action there's some good best practices, and again, it seems like every one of these kind of deserves its own separate webinar to discuss these best practices. But a good place for a call to action is at the bottom of all of your blog posts, because if you think about it, your blog posts are going to be driving website traffic. Whenever you have a visitor read through that entire blog post, do you want them to get to the very bottom and click out of your website and move on? We certainly don't. We certainly like to provide them something else, right? Keep them in the funnel. Provide them that next piece of information that they'll find valuable. And so this call to action would be at the very bottom of our blog posts that says, check out this ebook we've got. You may find this valuable. Or it's a white paper, or if it's a video that we've done. We'll likely use this webinar that I'm doing now as kind of an entry-level inbound marketing overview. And that'll be a good premium content offer, and we'll draw attention to that using calls to action in our blog posts and throughout our site as well. So calls to action is simply a graphic that's going to draw attention to these premium content offers we're creating. So once someone clicks on these calls to action, they'll be taken to a landing page. Landing page has one purpose. Maybe we'll call it two. All it's going to do is outline the premium content offer that we're dealing with. All of you today landed on our landing page for this webinar, and what it does, it outlines what the webinar is going to be about, tells you what you can expect, details everything that goes into the webinar, and then there's a form on the right, or wherever you choose to put it on the landing page. And within that, that's how you gain your lead information, right? You get your name, you get your contact information, whatever else you would want. And so once they fill out that form, then you make available your free premium content, whether it's an ebook or a webinar, whatever it is. And then from that, you've got some contact information with this person that you can follow up with. So these three things here are how you convert leads. Convert visitors into leads. And of course, like every good marketing person in general, but especially inbound marketing, we want to analyze results, right? That's one of the best things about inbound marketing. It allows us to measure everything. We can measure website traffic. We can measure where leads come from. With some of the software we use, HubSpot, Google Analytics to some degree, we can get so specific that we can see which blog post is driving the traffic and leads are coming from that. And if we're diligent and we're tracking sales, we can track those back to leads, and we can lead those back to where these folks became a lead, so that we can eventually measure a return on investment based on the new business we got and see exactly where it came from. A certain blog post, whether it was social media. Inbound marketing is probably one of my favorite things about it. You can measure everything, and more than anything else, it's easier to measure your return on investment. And you can also measure conversion rates, right? How many leads you're getting compared to how many visitors you have, and then eventually how many customers you're getting based on the leads you have. So you can know conversion rates so that you can work backwards from those, right? So let's say you've got a goal in 2015. Let's just say you need 12 more customers than what you received last year, and maybe that's a good goal for us. Maybe your goals would be something different. So with that information, we can work backwards from that, right? So we know we need 12 new customers. If we've got our lead to customer conversion rate, we've got our visitor to lead conversion rate, which analytics will provide you. We know exactly how much activity we need to create in order to get the visitors we need that will lead to the customers that we get. So overall, guys, ROI is the big thing here. We know that's what business owners, marketing people, everyone is searching for. They want to be able to know that their investment in inbound marketing is turning into sales for the business, and they want to know exactly how much. And with inbound marketing, as opposed to more traditional marketing, this is very much possible and should be at the forefront of what you're doing with everything inbound marketing related. And guys, that's about all I've got today. Again, this is meant to be a very much an overview of inbound marketing. And then in 2015, we're going to really kind of hone in on some of these different topics so that we can get more detailed about each, and we can offer best practices about how blogging can help your business, how social media, those type of things. So at this point, guys, I'm going to stick around. Any questions, again, put them right in that question chat pane. I'll answer them live on the webinar, and or I'll reach you directly there. But I think from here, guys, what I'd like you to do is think about what you have planned for 2015. Obviously, today being the 30th, hopefully you've got some plans for your marketing strategies in 2015. And I would strongly encourage you to consider inbound marketing as at least part of your marketing strategies for 2015. And if you want to have a conversation about that and see if it's right for you, to discuss some of the things that you can be doing yourself to grow your business in 2015 using inbound marketing, feel free to reach out. I'll definitely encourage that. And we're always up for having a conversation about how inbound marketing can help, because we're huge advocates of it. We'd like to see every business doing it. So from here, guys, I'm going to stick around the question pane here. Let me know if you have any questions, and then you'll hear back from me later today. I'll send you these presentation slides, and then later on this week we'll have this new blog post up that'll have the live webinar recording there.